The hour has come, chosen one. Heaven is no longer silent. The trumpet of the Spirit has sounded, and a decree has gone forth from the throne. When the night closes, I will open a door. And that door written in divine ink before the foundation of time is opening for you this very Saturday. On this coming day there will be a meeting. You might think it is random, a simple crossing of paths, but heaven says otherwise. It is not coincidence, it is appointment. It is a moment marked in eternity, not earlier, not later, but perfectly timed. The one you will meet has been chosen for you since before your first breath. You will meet your soulmate in the place God Himself has ordained, a place that your spirit will recognize the instant you arrive, because heaven has already walked there ahead of you. This is not a gentle whisper meant to soothe your fears. It is a summons from heaven itself. The realms above are moving in alignment. What was hidden is now being revealed. You stand at the intersection where divine purpose meets human obedience. Every delay you endured, every unanswered prayer was leading you here to this divine convergence, this sacred intersection where two paths become one. The angels are already in motion, carrying light through unseen corridors of time. They do not wander aimlessly, they move under command. And the command is clear: prepare the chosen one, for the appointed hour is near. You, who have walked through nights of silence and seasons of wondering, Lord, why must my heart still wait? This is your answer. You were not waiting in vain. Your tears have been recorded. Your faith has been seen. Every ache of your heart was shaping the vessel that would one day receive what heaven promised. You are now standing before a covenant moment where heaven's will is about to unfold upon the earth. Someone, anointed and prepared through their own refining, is being guided to the same place at the same time, for one purpose: divine union. The winds that once tested you are now the same winds carrying you into destiny. Heaven never speaks before its time, and if these words have reached you today, it is because the appointed moment has arrived. From this day forth, your steps are being aligned, your instincts quickened, your eyes opened to see divine patterns unfolding around you. You are no longer in a season of waiting, you are in the hour of fulfillment. C.S. Lewis once wrote in Mere Christianity, "To love at all is to be vulnerable. Love anything, and your heart will be wrung and possibly broken. But that is how God molds the heart that can truly recognize love when it arrives, not love born of emotion, but love born of destiny." So stand firm, chosen one. Do not shrink back when heaven calls you forward. This Saturday is not an accident, it is an answer. You are walking toward the very promise written in heaven's book under your name. And if this word stirs your spirit, speak it aloud. Write in the comments below, "I receive this timing, I trust His plan." Because when you declare it in faith, heaven begins to move on your behalf. But before this appointed hour could come, there was a season of preparation, a sacred silence that only heaven understood. You, chosen one, walked through valleys that felt forgotten, through nights when prayers seemed to echo back unanswered. Yet, in that silence, the Lord was not absent. He was at work. The loneliness you felt was not punishment, it was the classroom of heaven. Every delay, every disappointment, every prayer that ended in tears was a tool in the potter's hands. The Father was not denying you love. He was refining your heart so that when love came, you would not worship the gift above the giver. You were being taught to discern not through emotion, but through spirit. God never wastes wilderness seasons. Just as He led Israel through the desert to teach them dependence before the promised land, He has led you through years that stripped away illusion, pride, and false affection. He allowed certain people to leave, certain doors to close, not because he was cruel, but because he was preparing space, holy ground for the one who is meant to walk beside you. Do you remember the moments when you begged for someone to stay? Heaven heard you and still said no. For the Lord knew that temporary company cannot replace eternal design. He withheld the lesser to prepare you for the greater. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways. My ways, declares the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. Isaiah 55:8-9. These years of solitude were not empty, they were sacred. Every morning you woke up still believing, heaven recorded it as faith. Every night you surrendered your longing back to God, heaven marked it as worship. You were not waiting alone, angels stood guard beside your heart, whispering strength into your weary spirit. When you thought you were standing still, you were actually being positioned. Every tear became seed, every act of forgiveness became oil on your anointing. The Lord used time to shape in you what eternity already saw: resilience, purity, discernment, and the capacity to love without fear. This is why the meeting set for you could not come sooner. Divine timing never arrives on human demand. It comes when both hearts have been prepared, when both souls have learned to rest in obedience. You see, chosen one, your waiting was not wasted, it was synchronized. While you were learning to trust, your soulmate was being awakened. While you were healing wounds unseen, they were breaking chains of fear. God has been weaving two stories on opposite ends of time, and now, in this appointed hour, He is bringing them together. You will look back one day and understand. The silence was not the absence of God, but His presence in disguise. For it is written, "Be still, and know that I am God." Psalm 40, 6-10. And when the stillness gives way to revelation, you will see that every lonely night was a prophecy, every tear a line in the story. Heaven was writing, leading you here to the edge of divine fulfillment. Now the time has come, chosen one. The waiting that once felt endless has reached its divine conclusion. The threads of heaven have finished weaving what was hidden behind the veil, and the appointed hour, the hour written long before the foundation of the world, is now unfolding before your very eyes. This Saturday is not just another day on the calendar. It is the day heaven has chosen to fulfill what your spirit has long carried in silence. You may think what happens then will be ordinary, a simple outing, a quiet moment, a passing encounter. But what feels casual in the eyes of man will be sacred in the sight of heaven. For this Saturday is not about coincidence, it is about covenant. The Lord Himself has ordained a meeting, a divine appointment that will occur not one day too soon, not 1 hour too late. Everything has been aligned, the timing, the location, even the smallest details, to bring two souls together for a purpose beyond human understanding. The same God who appointed the stars in their courses, who told the sea how far it could go, has also ordered the steps of His chosen ones. You are walking into a moment He wrote with His own hand. The air itself will carry a different weight. The light will seem to rest upon you differently, for heaven will be present in the atmosphere. And where heaven moves, peace follows. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and He delights in His way. Psalm 37-23. This is not a poetic metaphor, it is a spiritual reality. Every delay you once despised was part of His design. Every door that closed was redirection, not rejection. And now, as divine timing unfolds, you will see how his orchestration is perfect, not rushed, not hesitant, but exact. On this Saturday, you will find yourself led almost gently to a place that feels alive, surrounded by light and quiet movement. It may be a marketplace, a cafe, a path near the water, or a space you have never noticed before, yet when you arrive, your heart will recognize it, for heaven has walked that path before you. The Spirit will whisper, "This is the place." You will not need to search with your eyes because your soul will already know. The one who is meant for you will be there not by their own planning, but by divine design. Their steps have been guided just as yours have been. They too have endured the wilderness and the silence. They too have been refined in the fire of waiting. And now, as two timelines converge, heaven will witness what it wrote long ago. Understand this truth. Divine timing never asks for permission from human reason. It arrives as prophecy fulfilled. You could not have forced this meeting before its time, and you cannot delay it now that the hour has struck. For when heaven decrees, creation obeys. You will know it not by sight, but by peace. A calm will settle within you, not excitement, not fear, but a stillness that speaks louder than words. It will feel as though eternity pauses, and for a moment, time and destiny breathe the same air. That is when you will understand. This is what heaven meant when it said, "Wait." The Father has marked this Saturday as your turning point. The angels are already positioned, the atmosphere already charged. Walk with confidence, for divine timing is not fragile, it is eternal. The same voice that said, "Let there be light," has said, "Let them meet," and when God speaks, the universe aligns to obey. There is a place already chosen one, a space touched by divine intention, prepared quietly long before you ever knew to look for it. Heaven has already walked its pathways and sanctified its air. The Lord has written your arrival there into the rhythm of His creation. This is not a place you find by effort. It is a place you recognize when your spirit stands upon it. You will not stumble into it by chance. Every step that brings you there will feel strangely natural, as if the ground itself is guiding you. You may find yourself drawn to go out when you normally would stay home, to take a path you have never taken, to visit a place you have never noticed, yet something inside you will whisper, "Go." That whisper is not imagination, it is the Spirit's nudge. For as it is written, your ears shall hear a word behind you saying, "This is the way, walk in it." When you turn to the right hand or when you turn to the left. Isaiah 30-21. The place itself may appear simple, not grand or extraordinary in the eyes of men. It could be a market, a quiet cafe bathed in sunlight, a gathering filled with laughter, a path lined with trees, or even a new corner of your daily world that suddenly feels alive with unseen meaning. What matters is not its form, but its presence, a peace that rests upon it like soft light, a sense that time slows, that heaven is near. When you step into that place, your spirit will know before your mind can reason. There will be a stillness, a deep, wordless recognition that says, "I have been here before." That is because, in eternity, you already have. The meeting that will occur there has been witnessed in heaven long before it manifests on earth. This place has been chosen with care. Its sounds, its light, even the people who pass by have been arranged to create a precise harmony of divine timing. You may see sunlight filtering through leaves, hear laughter in the distance, or feel a breeze that brushes your skin. These are not accidents. The Creator who paints the dawn has painted this moment for you. And there, In the quiet unfolding of ordinary life, the extraordinary will take place. Two souls, refined by waiting and guided by unseen hands, will step into the same space at the same hour. You will not need to search anxiously, for destiny does not need to be chased. It will come to you calmly, naturally, like the tide meeting the shore. When that moment comes, do not question it. Do not let fear or logic argue with what faith already recognizes. Simply breathe, be present, and let the Spirit do what it was sent to do. You will feel a sense of divine peace settle over you, as if heaven itself is holding its breath, for the prophecy is coming alive. Remember, chosen one, the Lord does not lead where His grace has not gone before. Wherever you go this Saturday, go with reverence, for the ground you will stand on is holy, not because of its name or place, but because it is the meeting point of two destinies written by the same hand. When heaven orchestrates a meeting, it does not leave you without guidance. The same Spirit that led Abraham's servant to Rebekah, that caused Ruth to step into Boaz's field, will also lead you, chosen one, to recognize the one appointed for you. God is not the author of confusion. His will carries peace as its signature. The signs will not be loud or dramatic, but they will carry the stillness of divine certainty. You will know them not by the outer appearance, but by what stirs within your spirit. The eyes may not understand, but the soul will. When your gaze first meets theirs, there will be a silence that speaks louder than words, a deep calm that settles where anxiety once lived. It will feel like recognition, as though you are not meeting for the first time, but remembering someone your heart already knew. That is because your spirits have met before, in the presence of the one who wrote both your names in the same sentence of destiny. You will notice reflections, echoes of your own journey mirrored in theirs, the same wounds healed in different ways, the same prayers whispered in separate rooms. You may move in sync without realizing it. Your gestures, your tone, your rhythm of breathing will harmonize effortlessly, as if guided by an unseen conductor. And in that subtle alignment, heaven will whisper, "This is the one." Do not expect lightning or spectacle. Divine confirmation often arrives clothed in peace. It will not stir fear, for God is not a God of disorder but of peace. 1 Corinthians 14:33. This peace will anchor you, even if your mind cannot explain it. You will feel time pause, not because of emotion, but because eternity recognizes its reflection in this moment. You may also see small signs around you, recurring numbers, familiar melodies, a sense of déjà vu, the gentle repetition of symbols that seem too precise to be random. These are not superstitions. They are the fingerprints of the divine, subtle reminders that heaven's hand is upon your path. The angels often weave small threads of recognition so that your faith will remember what your logic forgets. Your heart will not race with chaos but expand with stillness. It will not feel like losing control but like coming home. For as it is written, "My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me." John 10:27. The same way the soul knows its shepherd, it will know the one heaven has sent, not through sight, not through reason, but through spiritual resonance. And when you sense this peace, do not rush to define it or label it. Let it unfold naturally, for love that is ordained by God does not demand, it recognizes. What you will feel is not infatuation, it is remembrance. Not attraction, but alignment. The Spirit within you will bear witness, and that witness is truth. So when the moment comes, and you feel heaven breathe through the ordinary, remember, The sign you've been waiting for is not written in the stars, but in the stillness of your heart. And that stillness will whisper the oldest promise of all. What God has joined together, let no one separate. Matthew 19:6. Chosen one, as the day approaches, heaven calls you not to rush outward, but to turn inward. Divine appointments are never stumbled into by chance, they are met by hearts made ready. The same God who aligned the stars for your meeting also desires to align your spirit with his peace. So before the hour strikes, the Lord gives you 4 sacred instructions, not as burdens, but as invitations to walk in step with his Spirit. First, rest and be still. Do not fill these days with worry or frantic preparation. Heaven does not move through anxiety, it moves through stillness. Let your mind settle and your body rest, for fatigue clouds discernment. Walk outside, breathe in the air he created. Let sunlight touch your skin. In silence, you will hear his whisper clearer than before. In returning and rest, you shall be saved. In quietness and trust shall be your strength. Isaiah 30:15. Second, release all doubt. Fear is the language of delay, but faith is the key that opens heaven's timing. Speak this truth aloud when uncertainty rises. I trust your plan, Lord, even when I cannot see it. Every word of faith you speak builds a bridge for the Spirit to move freely. You do not need to make anything happen. You only need to remain open to what heaven is already arranging. Third, write before God. Take a quiet moment and pour your heart onto paper. Tell him what you feel, the hopes, the fears, the gratitude. Ask for signs of confirmation, for clarity, for courage to recognize the sacred moment when it arrives. Writing does not inform God, it refines you. It clears the fog within, so your heart can hear the Spirit's leading. As David wrote his Psalms in waiting, so too should you write as worship, not as worry. Fourth, rejoice deliberately, smile often, speak kindly, show gratitude. Joy is not merely an emotion, it is a signal of spiritual readiness. It raises your frequency to align with heaven's rhythm. Angels are drawn to joy the way light is drawn to dawn, for joy declares, I trust the author even when I do not yet see the ending. Do not mistake stillness for inactivity. Preparation in the kingdom is not about doing more, but believing deeper. Every act of surrender sharpens your awareness. Every moment of peace increases your sensitivity to divine movement. The Lord is already preparing you in ways you cannot see, dressing your spirit in peace, cloaking you with discernment, anointing your steps with grace. When the morning of Saturday arrives, rise gently, not with haste but with reverence. The angels who have watched over your nights will walk beside you into the day. Your outfit, your timing, even your delays, all will be woven together under divine supervision. Trust it. For when you walk in obedience, heaven does not let a single step go astray. You are not being asked to find destiny, you are being asked to receive it. And the greatest preparation for divine love is not perfection but peace. For it is written, the Lord will fight for you, you need only to be still. Exodus 14:14. So quiet your heart, steady your thoughts, and lift your eyes toward heaven. The time is near, the orchestration complete. All that remains is your readiness. When the meeting comes, chosen one, let not your heart be anxious to understand it all at once. The ways of God are not rushed. His will unfolds like dawn slow, radiant and certain. You will not need to grasp everything that happens in that moment. You are only asked to receive it. Love that is born from heaven does not demand explanation. It reveals itself in peace. After the encounter, whether it is a conversation, a glance, or a quiet recognition, do not attempt to define it with human reasoning. Let it breathe. Let it rest in the hands that authored it. The same God who brought you together knows how to sustain what he ordains. If it is from him, it will not fade in confusion. It will grow in clarity. Sometimes divine love begins softly, not with thunder, but with stillness. It might not feel dramatic. There may be no fireworks, no overwhelming surge, only a calm certainty that feels holy. That is how heaven works, subtly, humbly, yet with eternal weight. Love that is of God does not intoxicate, it steadies. It will not pull you from your purpose, it will align you with it. Every good and perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father of lights, who does not change like shifting shadows. James 1:17. You may find that after the meeting, your mind races to interpret every detail. Resist the temptation to control what God is still forming. Love within his will moves according to divine timing, not through pursuit or manipulation, but through peace and prayer. If he wills you to walk together, no distance, no delay, no doubt will stop it. But if he ordains a pause, trust that the pause itself is part of his perfection. It may happen that you part ways, only to meet again later. Or perhaps the connection deepens gradually, as though heaven stretches time to let your souls grow into the bond. Do not mistake slow growth for uncertainty. True love is not impatient, it honors process. Remember, the oak tree was once a seed, and the promise God gives must take root before it blossoms. Continue to listen for the Spirit after the meeting. He will send gentle confirmations, perhaps through dreams, through scripture, through an unexplainable peace that lingers. Do not chase signs, but stay attentive. God speaks quietly, and his peace is louder than any miracle. You will go out in joy and be led forth in peace. The mountains and hills will burst into song before you. Isaiah 50, 5-12. If you find your heart drawn to that person, bring it before the Lord daily. Pray not for possession, but for purpose. Say, Lord, if this is from you, keep it. If not, protect me from my own desires. That is how you anchor love in obedience, not emotion. Love that belongs to God does not make you lose yourself. It makes you more like him. It produces gentleness, patience, humility, and courage, the very fruit of his Spirit. And if, in his mercy, he allows the connection to grow, nurture it with reverence. Do not idolize the person. Honor the presence that brought them. Let every word you speak be seasoned with grace, every interaction rooted in gratitude. For relationships born in the will of God are not given merely for happiness, they are assignments of destiny. When love is divine, it does not compete with your calling, it completes it. The right person will not distract you from your purpose, they will remind you of it. You will not feel smaller in their presence, but strengthened. Together, you will reflect the image of the one who authored your story. So walk humbly after this meeting. Do not rush what heaven intends to unfold. For when love is born from the breath of God, it will not fade like mist, it will stand as a covenant. Trust the process, chosen one, and remember, if it is written by his hand, no force on earth can erase it. Chosen one, know this truth: you will not walk into that sacred moment alone. Heaven never sends you unaccompanied. From the moment the decree was spoken over your life, angels were assigned to your path. They have watched you rise from ashes, guarded your sleep through weary nights, and whispered courage into your trembling prayers. And now, as the appointed day approaches, they are closer than ever, surrounding you, like quiet light, unseen yet undeniable. The angels of the Lord are not distant figures of myth. They are messengers of order, bearers of timing, carriers of peace. As it is written, "For he shall give his angels charge over you, to keep you in all your ways." Psalm 90, 1-11. They will move through the unseen world to ensure that every step you take leads to where you are meant to be. Even the smallest details, the clothes you choose, the timing of your leaving home, the seat you find, the brief delay that changes your route, all are orchestrated under their watch. You may not hear their voices audibly, but your heart will feel their presence, the sudden calm that settles when anxiety tries to rise, the gentle prompting to wait when you wish to hurry, the inexplicable urge to look in a certain direction at the exact moment your destiny passes by. These are not coincidences. They are the soft fingerprints of heaven. Do not imagine your angels as mere observers. They are participants in your unfolding story. Some go before you to prepare the path. Others walk beside you to steady your heart, and still others stand behind to close doors that no longer serve your journey. Every flutter of delay, every unexpected pause may in truth be divine choreography, ensuring that you and the one ordained for you arrive at the same place at the same time under the same light. And when fear whispers, "What if I miss it?" remember, you cannot miss what God Himself has appointed. The angels who walk with you are guardians of divine precision. They know your assignment. They know your heart. They know the coordinates of your destiny. Even if the day feels ordinary, even if nothing seems supernatural, heaven is working quietly beneath the surface, aligning time, space, and spirit into perfect harmony. There will be moments, perhaps even on that Saturday morning, when you sense an unusual peace as you prepare. You might find yourself choosing an outfit you hadn't planned, leaving the house a few minutes later than expected, or taking a different path than usual. Do not resist it. Trust the gentle interruptions of heaven. They are divine positioning in disguise. And, as you go, the angels will walk before you like invisible heralds. They will clear confusion, restrain what would distract, and create room for what must unfold. Every breath of yours will be under divine observation, every heartbeat tuned to the rhythm of the purpose God has set. The angel of the Lord encamps around those who fear Him, and He delivers them. Psalm 34-7. Know this deeply, chosen one. You have never been forsaken. The same angels who wept with you in sorrow will rejoice with you in fulfillment. The same hands that caught your tears will now lift your face toward light. You were never wandering, you were being escorted. And when you finally stand in the moment heaven wrote for you, the air itself will testify, you did not walk here alone. So go without fear, walk with confidence. Every step you take toward that divine encounter is accompanied by eternity. The wings that once shielded you in your storms now guide you into promise. And when you finally meet the one heaven has prepared, the angels will stand unseen nearby, rejoicing quietly, for prophecy will have become reality. Chosen one, understand this. The meeting that awaits you is far greater than a moment of affection. It is a divine unveiling, the manifestation of something heaven has long prepared. What is about to happen is not merely the crossing of two human paths, but the convergence of two divine assignments. This is not only about love, it is about alignment. When two souls refined by God's fire meet at the exact intersection of obedience and timing, heaven calls it covenant. From the beginning, the Lord has worked not only to bring you comfort, but to awaken you to teach your heart the language of divine love. The person you are about to meet is not sent merely to complete you, but to reveal you. They will mirror the parts of your soul that God has been shaping in silence, your strength, your faith, your calling, your compassion. In their presence, you will recognize not only love, but purpose. This union is meant to remind you of what love truly is in the kingdom. Not possession, not dependency, but partnership in divine mission. You are not being sent someone to idolize, but someone to walk beside you in the unfolding of God's design. The two of you will become living testimonies of His faithfulness, a reflection of His covenant nature. For as it is written, two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their labor. For if they fall, one will lift up the other. Ecclesiastes 4:9-10. Every true union ordained by God carries the weight of heaven's intention. The meeting of two souls in divine order is not a reward for patience alone. It is a sign that both hearts have reached maturity in spirit. You endured the wilderness not to earn love, but to become love, the kind that mirrors Christ's own, steadfast, pure, and sacrificial. When you encounter this person, something within you will awaken not infatuation but recognition. You will remember what your soul has always known, that love, in its truest form, is not pain but restoration. It is not fear but safety. It is not control but freedom. You will feel seen without needing to perform, understood without needing to explain. That is the hallmark of divine connection. It brings peace, not pressure. And yet, this meeting is not the end of your journey. It is the beginning of a new chapter written by heaven's hand. God will use this connection to expand both your spirits, to teach you how to love as He loves, to forgive as He forgives, to build as He builds. It will challenge your patience and strengthen your faith, not to destroy, but to refine. For divine love is not fragile, it is forged. You must remember, the enemy fights what carries purpose. That is why divine unions are tested, not to break them, but to prove them. Stand firm in prayer. Keep your eyes on the giver, not the gift. The person sent to you is not your savior. They are your partner in grace. Together, you will learn what it means to serve the kingdom with one heartbeat and one faith. This meeting will not just change your life, it will expand heaven's work through your life. You will begin to sense greater clarity in your calling, new depth in your worship, and renewed strength in your walk. When love is born in divine timing, it becomes a ministry, a living parable of redemption and trust. So, when your eyes meet theirs and the stillness of heaven surrounds you, remember this truth. You are witnessing the manifestation of promise, the intersection of obedience and mercy. You are not just meeting a person. You are encountering a piece of God's design for your destiny. And in that sacred realization, let your heart whisper in reverence, "This is the Lord's doing. It is marvelous in our eyes." Psalm 118-23. Chosen one. This is the final word, the closing of heaven's decree, and the opening of destiny's gate. The time you have waited for is not approaching. It is here. The prayers once whispered in the dark have ripened into fulfillment. The tears you thought were forgotten have become the ink of prophecy, and the promise once distant is now walking toward you, carrying the fragrance of eternity. Do not let fear close what faith has opened. The Lord has cleared your path. What was once tangled is now straightened. What was once withheld is now released. For when God declares a thing, no power of earth or hell can reverse it. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Jeremiah 29:11. You have not been overlooked. Heaven has seen every moment of your endurance, every battle fought in silence. When you thought you were being delayed, you were being prepared. When you thought you were standing still, you were being positioned. The Lord has been weaving every detail, the timing, the place, the person, so that when the hour came, all would align with divine perfection. This Saturday is not a date. It is a divine intersection. You will not be the same after it. For this is not merely the fulfillment of longing, but the awakening of calling. The one you are about to meet is not sent just to love you, but to remind you who you truly are. They will speak peace into the places you once guarded, and you will feel heaven's gentleness in their presence. This is what it means when Scripture says, "Perfect love casts out fear." 1 John 4:18. Do not hesitate when the moment comes. Do not question the peace that overtakes you. Step forward, for the light that guides you is not chance, but command. When your eyes meet theirs, time will bow to eternity. You will not need to ask, "Is this real?" For your spirit will already know. This is what heaven promised. Remember what C.S. Lewis wrote in The Four Loves. The Christian does not think God will love us because we are good, but that God will make us good because He loves us. So it is with this meeting. Love is not your reward, it is God's continuation of His work in you. Through it, He refines, restores, and reveals the beauty of His design. You are not being given a mere relationship, you are being entrusted with a holy partnership. Chosen one, walk boldly into this hour. Heaven has gone before you. The angels have taken their places. The voice that formed galaxies now whispers your name, go. And when you go, go in faith. Lift your head high and let gratitude be your language. You have reached the threshold of promise. You have crossed from waiting into becoming. If this word resonates within your spirit, declare it, speak it aloud, share it with those who still wait in darkness. Like, comment, and share this message so that others may know God's timing is perfect, His promises are alive, and His love still moves through ordinary hearts to do extraordinary things. Now walk, chosen one. The heavens have spoken. It is done.